Da 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 da. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah. What about that? Those two guys you were playing with, those two or three guys.
I guess they didn't think I was available enough because they were like I missed practice 2 weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row because I had to work 2 of those weeks, and then the other week I had just too much to do, and I was like, I just can't. I don't have enough time to come to practice today. And then he was like, well, we're gonna be recording acoustic stuff and working on vocals a lot for the next month. So if you want to show up, like you can, but we're not really gonna play with drums and all this other shit. So I was like, well, you guys don't really need me there, so just let me know when y'all are done with all that. And they never let me know. And 2 or 3 months went by, and I was like, what's going on? Like, what the fuck? And Kevin didn't have the balls to talk to me about any of it. None of them did. And I heard from Nathaniel's mom that he was like mad at me, and he said I like abandoned them and all this other shit. So I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna work with a bunch of 2-year-olds. Like, that's a waste of my time.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That was a good sound too.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was stoked about it. I don't know. I liked playing it. It's just not like I would rather be playing some smooth metal grooves, like some genty post rock shit
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Is it?
But
But is that the kind of like tone that you're going to be pursuing with Josh though?
no. Well, that's the thing. I texted Josh and I was like, "Hey," because Josh is back in Come and Rest. He keeps saying, "Oh, I'm just filling in," but he's back in the fucking band. Like, he's not gonna leave, and that's what he wanted. And he was like, I texted him all that shit, like, "Hey, I need to play with you and Daniel. Like, you guys, I don't like playing with anyone else. You guys are the only dudes who can match me and blah blah blah, and like I get along with." And he's like, "Yeah, dude, so let's get together and talk about music." And then he texted me and he was like, "So me and Daniel both want to start a side project with you." And I was like, "That's cool, but I don't want to do this whole thing where we play like once every 2 months and don't really get anything done and all this other stuff." And he's like, "Well, Come and Rest is our main focus, but we do want to do something else with you." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to waste my time if we're not going to be able to get any work done because you guys are so like touring so much and doing all this other shit. So either they need to just let me join Come and Rest, or like just not do it, which they're not going to abandon that shit because they've worked so hard on it. So I doubt anything's going to come out of us playing together unless I'm in Come and Rest, which they're too chicken to kick out Mitchell. So whatever, I don't care. I'm just gonna go to Canada and record some tasty jams.
Some tasty jams,
Yeah, I'm
tasty
gonna.
Canadian jams, maple syrup jams.
Yeah, I'm getting Glenn. I'm going to visit my uncle, and He has a studio, and he's gonna record me, and he's gonna play guitar, and we're just gonna write some shit, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, I want to play this," and then he'll just play whatever I write, because he's wicked awesome.
You should play. You should start a heavy metal band, and then when you go up to Canada to play, you should call yourselves Heavy Maple. Maple.
Heavy maple. That's
Yeah.
good. Awesome.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of Duelist Discussion. Just two hosts here today to occupy your ear holes and give you good stuff in your face. And that's not Scott Johnson. That's Ryan Drover.
I wish I was Scott Johnson.
And me, Devin Casey, the one and only. How are you embracing the holidays, Ryan? You got a tree up?
Yeah, I'm staring at it right now. We have a little like 3-footer
On your
on
desk?
on my desk, yeah, and it's got it came with a stand on the bottom and a little bowl you can put in water so the tree can stay nourished.
Oh, it's a live tree.
Yeah.
I see.
It was like $20 I think at Home Depot. So
You got it decorated and everything?
yeah, we got lights on it and some ornaments that my ma gave us, and then we got a horse head mask on top of it as the star. Yeah, it's just a big horse head.
You got any presents under it though?
No, I doubt we're gonna have any presents under it.
Yeah. Where are you doing
I'm-
Christmas at?
My parents' house. Well, we're going to my parents and the girl's parents, and then I don't know, probably seeing some friends maybe. But we're staying Christmas Eve night at my parents, and then we're gonna wake up and have Christmas with my nephew and my mom and all them.
Dang, you got a lot of people to buy presents for, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it because I'm kind of broke.
Well, you don't have to worry about me, bro.
Nah, you can't say that.
I'm gonna say that. Well, I don't have because I'm kind of a nomad when it comes to my living situation right now. Because I'm kind of struggling financially. But at my current residence, I don't have a Christmas tree here. But where we're doing Christmas at my sister's, there is rather a large one. So I will have one eventually. That'll be cool. And I spend most of my waking hours of the day listening to jazz holidays on Pandora.
I do the same thing. I listen to
Dude, that's awesome.
on Spotify. I listen to the Kenny G Christmas album
Oh, nice.
all the time. It's so good.
And I enjoyed some red wine recently with that. And man, say what you
Nice.
will, but I'm just rather tired of beer, and I want some good wine to go with my jazz.
I can't get into wine. I mean, I love the idea of listening to smooth jazz and drinking some nice red wine, but I just I can't do it.
Oh well.
I guess I'm a beer geek, so I guess all my expensive like Belgium ales and stuff will make up for the wine.
Yeah, I mean, but I just can't screw around with hard liquor anymore, though.
I can't either. I act a fool when I drink
I mean,
any
it
hard
just
liquor.
tears me up now.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't feel good. I pay for it super hardcore the following day.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have 1 or 2 beers, get a small buzz going.
You know, just a little Coke. That's all.
Yes.
I want to start off by giving credit to Scott Johnson, who is the founder of Frog Pants Studios. And as you might have heard, our listeners, we had a few ads played over there, trying to get the show out there, get more people to listen. Because that's the whole point. We need listeners, and he was gracious enough to offer service to anyone really, where they will play a spot for your show on their show, which hosts to thousands of listeners. So that was really really nice of him to provide that, and so I did that a few times, and he made a clerical error, which resulted in an ad I had paid for not being played for like a good month or two, and I had left it alone because I figured he was busy, he was in the middle of a move, and finally I just brought it up. I'm like, hey, I think you made a mistake. And so he was like so humble about it. He's like, oh no, I mean, yeah, I did make a mistake and everything. So he gave me like 2 extra ads for free, and he was gonna play them on his various shows. He ended up playing like 5 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that was a mistake or I don't know. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Scott Johnson. He's a great guy, very talented. Love that network and all of his shows. I listen to most of them. But it was really great. And in light of that, he did something recently with his host, Brian Ibbett, that I thought was really cool, really funny. And that is, if you could only take one thing with you to an island, what would it be? So I want you to tell me what cereal that would be.
Cereal. I'm gonna say Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
What? What if you can't have
Yes.
sugar?
Uh, no sugar? That eliminates like 75% of all cereal.
I mean like
I'd
sugar on the
say,
side. Because Rice Krispie
oh,
treats are so plain, you know.
no, the Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
Oh, it's already
Um,
got sugar in it?
yes, it's little clusters of Rice Krispie Treats.
Or diabetes.
Yeah, little diabetes bites. It's good.
Diabetes bites.
Diabetes.
Okay, how about a video game?
Well, that wouldn't entail a video game system, so do I get a choice of that as well?
You can assume let's assume you can play this video game.
Okay. I would say, man.
And you can imagine that the state that it's in, like if it's a game that regularly gets DLC or expansions like The Sims or Warcraft,
or it's a or it's an MMO or something.
right, you can assume it's going to continue to do that.
I'd get an MMO because of that reason.
Which one, though?
I'd probably pick either WoW or the new Final Fantasy 14 MMO.
Okay, all right.
I'd probably say WoW because there's more content right now.
I would say Little Big Planet 2.
Nice.
Yeah, love that game. I could just create stuff all day. How about a music album?
Music album? I'd probably say Dashboard Confessional is a huge favorite of mine.
Who's
That's
that
like, no, that's a band.
Oh.
That's my emo. That's my favorite emo band.
Oops.
But yeah, their album's called "A Mark, a Mission, a Brand, a Scar." I think.
Cute.
Yeah, it's very old.
What do they sound like?
It's very acoustic driven and slow and ambient, and very vocal driven as well. He sings a lot about like past relationships and all this other stuff. It's really good breakup music.
What
I've
about
always been into that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just can't get into that kind of music, unfortunately.
I know.
Yeah, you know. I can get down with some Postal Service or Lydia, though.
Oh yeah, Postal Service rules.
Totes. How about a handsome male actor?
Hugh Jackman, dude, all day.
You would take Hugh Jackman with you to an island?
Oh yeah, he's huge. He's Australian, so he probably knows the wild anyway. He could probably hunt a tiger or whatever and eat, kill it for me. And he could entertain me, so yeah.
I would take Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. What is he gonna do? Pull up his gadgets and call you a helicopter?
I don't know. He's gonna look me in the eyes with his big blue eyes and tell me
Oh
we're
yeah,
both
those
gonna
eyes,
die.
dude. I'm gonna go total homo on that. Those eyes.
Totes. But no, if you could only take one Pokemon with you to an island, what would it be?
Dragonite, because he can use all different kinds of moves, so I could have him use, flamethrower to light fires or fly to fly me somewhere. Fly me off the damn island.
What about a musical instrument?
I wouldn't want to take drums because that would be annoying. I'm a drummer, I play drums, but drums are kind of like a blank canvas. You kind of have to add stuff to it, like other instruments.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably take an acoustic guitar.
Good idea, me too.
As generic as that is, but there's so much depth in that instrument.
I would take a acoustic also. What about a soda?
Soda.
Or pop for some people.
What kind of pop?
Yeah.
I don't know. Shoot. I don't really drink too much soda, but when I do drink soda, it's either Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper.
Come on.
I'd say Dr. Pepper.
Man, Coca-Cola Classic.
Man, it's too dry. It makes my mouth all chalky.
That's what she said.
Bong.
Let's move on to some news with the biggest patch drop ever, and we can say that because it is, because
Yes.
there just hasn't been that many patches. But
Right.
have you toyed around with any of this?
Yeah, I played today. I played my first 3 ranked matches since the patch dropped, and everyone started anew, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
With the whole new ranking system and stuff. And I love the portraits in the bottom left with the number, like what rank you are and stuff.
Yeah. What's your rank now?
I just went up to Leopard Gnome.
Oh.
I played 3 matches and I won all 3 of them in a row, and it gave me a win streak bonus. So I went from 2-star chicken to 2-star gnome. So I think my next win I'll go up to 23.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of stuff that's in this patch. A few little neat things. We'll go over the highlights. The stuff that's pretty cool. You can now abandon quests and pick a different one once per day. Let's say you got to win 5 games with a warlock or mage, and you absolutely hate those classes and you refuse to play them. Plus the ranking system kind of, to me, it discourages experimenting a little bit, in my opinion. But we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, you can abandon a quest and pick a different one once per day. The Elite Tauren Chieftain card is in the game. The one you earned from BlizzCon, the golden one anyway, which is pretty neat, though I don't have it in any of my decks. It's kind of, it's a promo card. It is what it is. Someone played that in a ranked game, and it gives each player a cord card, and mine was 4 damage, and I immediately used that to combo and kill him, his Elite Tauren Chieftain. So there's that. But there's revamped play modes: casual, ranked, and arena. Casual is just unranked, whatever. Ranked is up to 25 ranks, where the key is just to play until you get your rank down, and at which point you gain or lose a star per win or loss, with the goal being to descend lower in the ranks to legend rank for the season. And once you get to legend rank, you don't move from legend rank, but then you get a number within your legend rank, and the better you do, I believe the lower your number, and that number is your literal ranking in the region, like America, for instance. So if you're like legend 300, you're like the 300th best player. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah. The rewards for ranked play are not like the card backs and stuff. Those are not going to be available until at least open beta, because they have explicitly said they want everyone to be able to reap those rewards. Arena now has a total of 12 wins to strive for, up from 9. And the rewards you get are condensed into fewer packages. You don't always get 5 packages. Sometimes you get 4 or 3, or maybe just 2. This past week, for the first time ever, I got up to 8 wins, and I capped out there, and that paid for my run and a half, just about, and then I got a card back. So that was really cool. I don't particularly do very well in Arena, so that was amazing for me.
Nice.
Yeah, man, thanks. There's a new feature, recently played opponent. Your friends list now displays the last person you played against and their battle tags, so you can add them if you really enjoyed that, which is kind of a stretch, considering all you really have to communicate with is WellNet!
Right, so I guess you could add them, and then once you add them, be like, I hate you, you're a piece of crap, you made me do this, blah, blah, and then unfriend them.
Right, like I added a dude after I beat him, but he was particularly very good sport about it, and I'm not surprised he didn't accept my friend request, to the best of my knowledge. You now have the option to keep the sound playing while the game is running in the background, which is very useful, because I like to alt-tab, because people take too long, as I've mentioned in the show. I can't stand it, but I'm kind of a hypocrite about it, because I'm very methodical myself.
Yeah, does it play sounds and stuff, like if you alt-tab and you go, you're looking at IGN or something?
Not specific sounds, but you can hear all of the native sound. You can hear card plays and everything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he attacks you, can you hear the boom, like the
right? You can hear all of
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which is really good. For some reason, that wasn't in there before.
Yeah, that because I never knew what was going on. I'm like, am I running out of time? Holy crap!
Right. The amount of gold gained by winning games in play mode per day now is capped at 100 gold. This cap does not affect quest, arena, or achievements. And this is basically in place to combat botting, because what people would do is have bots that would play games and lose them, like concede, and then they would get their MMR, their basically win-loss kill-death ratio down so low that they would only go against their other bots, and those just conceding against each other would just award each other just gold, and all that would build up over time, and people would get like loads and loads of gold. So this is to combat that. There's been many sounds added to the game that they did not document in the patch notes, but I've noticed all of them, and they're very, very good. For example, like an arena, after you finish a match, there's a little sound, like a little tinker sound, and some visual effect that happens to the key, and just all these little different things that take place. And your hover glow is now white, and the opponent's is still red. Visual effects of some cards have been improved, like Ysira. She summons dream cards directly from the Emerald Dream. So like at the end of your turn or whenever that activates, a big like circular green mirror glass looking image into like literally the Emerald Dream opens up and a card comes from that realm, and then that closes like a portal. It's really cool.
Awesome.
King Crush, you play him. So let's say he plays the card or you play the card. He vanishes, and then you hear like Jurassic Park style. When he rushes in, and he's like, it's really epic, and he charges and he does some damage. And I haven't seen Alakil win Lords yet, but Onyxia's Whelps, when you would lay that one down, all these Whelps would summon, right? And you would have to go through the summon animation for each one. Well, now they all just fly in, really. Like, it's just really quick. It's really cool. And then there was some card changes, of course. Unleash the Hounds has finally been announced, the fix for that. For every minion that the enemy has on the board, you summon a 1/1 Hound with charge, which basically renders it useless, So if they have like 5 minions on the board, and you have like 1, and you play Unleash the Hounds, you get 5 Hounds with 1/1 in charge. And the only way I've really seen that work really well is if they have that one minion that gains attack and health when a friendly beast dies,
Yeah.
And you basically kamikaze all those. But other than that, it's kind of gimmicky and has less of a niche, or more of a niche, I should say. Flameman's Battle Cry now deals 3 damage up from 2, which doesn't change how it's used at all. It really does nothing. Archer Commander is now a 4/2 compared to a 4/3, which also doesn't change much considering it starts out with a bubble anyway, and you get its use as soon as you lay it. And the Shattered Sun Cleric is now a 3/2, down from a 3/3, which also doesn't change much considering the problem is what it does to other minions, and that gives them a 1/1. I guess all this does is put it into AoE range. So how do you feel about these changes? Meh, whatever, don't care, happy, what?
I don't really particularly care about Unleash the Hounds.
Like, you're not happy about it?
I mean, it doesn't really change a lot for me.
It kind of fixes the Hunter one-turn kill thing, but that's about it.
Right. I don't play against a lot of Hunters, though. I see...
especially after this patch.
Yeah, and then Flame Imp. I don't particularly like that either because I play against Warlocks a lot.
Yeah, all these changes didn't address the problems that these cards caused.
Right, and then, I mean, I don't know, the Argent Commander, I don't really use him, but I agree with what you said. He's
a charge with a bubble. I mean, you're going to get your use out of him immediately, and that's it.
It's not really going to make a huge difference. Like, if you're trying to trade him for another enemy, it's not really going to matter. All you're really looking at is his ability to charge, and then, the whole Divine Shield and his attack of 4. And then the Shattered Sun Cleric, I use that card sometimes in a lot of my decks, and just because of her battle cry, though, or her ability. I don't really care for her attack or defense. I mean, she's okay. For the cost, though, I think it was better to keep her at 3/3. But, again, I don't really use her for her attacking abilities or defending abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, nothing too drastic of a change, in my opinion.
I think the key to fixing Warlock is make that Blood Imp, which is a stealth 1/1 that gives everyone 1 health. I think the key to fixing Warlocks is to modify that thing. So maybe it costs more mana, like maybe 2 mana, or... Right. Maybe it has more health. I'm not sure. But right now, I think that's a really overpowered card, and I think that's helping them win the early game for sure.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some gameplay thoughts. How do you feel about ranked play? You said you were enjoying that, or you only played like a few matches?
Yeah, I've played 3 matches since it's been put into the game
Yeah.
or changed a bit, and I mean it went smoothly. I think the matching system is better now with this whole new rank system, because anyone who's matched with you, you're only going to play people inside of your ranking, or I think it's one outside of it as well. Like I played somebody who was a leper gnome when I was a chicken. But I think, yeah, the matching system's probably a bit more equal and fair now.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that the more you win, the more ranks you'll go up. And I like that whole win streak bonus thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Because if you're on a roll, you can ascend the ranks pretty quickly. But if you start messing up and then not playing too well, and you get bumped back a couple ranks, then maybe that'll tell you to maybe you need a new deck or something, or take out this card, or change something. So I think that's cool.
I feel like the ranked play is like just more stressful, because I don't think you're experiencing it right now, but I think as you get more into it, like further down the ranks, like closer to 15 or 16, and your losses start to take stars away. So a loss puts you back, and that's just, I don't know, it's really stressful. I don't really feel like it encourages experimentation with your decks, like with deck building, and to that extent, completing quests. But then again, I suppose that's what's casual play is for. You might see more people there. I don't really know, but it certainly is an incentive to play more non-arena. You know what I mean? Like that's a great incentive. I mean, I enjoy ranked play, and it's getting harder and harder, of course. In the beginning, I noticed everyone was closer to rank 25 and 20. So those beginning matches for me were really difficult because everyone started the race at the same time. So that was pretty cool, though. I like it.
Nice.
Let's move on to a little something called Card Conquistador. Today's Card Conquistador is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/discussion. Did you enjoy the new Hobbit movie, The Desolation of Smaug? Well, you have your choice of over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, etc. Be it that Hobbit, or any of the Hobbits, or all the Hobbits, or just one Hobbit, or the Hobbitses, and the Preciouses, and the Warcraft Hobbits, and Harry Potter, or even Tom Clancy. Get your free Audible book today. audibletrial.com/discussion. Let me tell you, those make great gifts for people like me who work in an industry where you spend long hours doing repetitive shit, and it gets really boring and dull. Great for driving in traffic, not racing, because you got to concentrate. And let's move on to Card Conquistador. How do you enrage your own frosting berserker? Oh, I'm sorry, frothing berserker. Frosting berserker is a nickname for my girlfriend when she's baking cookies.
I was about to say, is that like a card with like a baker or something? Like he makes cupcakes and he's just crazy and it's all written in blood. I don't know.
Totally. How do you enrage your own frosting berserker, Amani berserker, and raging worgen at the same time? Which card would you use?
Well, seeing as most of these are warrior exclusive cards, I'm gonna say whirlwind, because it damages all minions on the field by 1 point.
Excellent.
Nice. Do I win? What do I win?
I don't know. Go get an audiobook.
Yeah, I already did.
Sweet.
I got the Road.
The Road?
Yeah, it's that kind of post-apocalyptic book about it's about a father and his son, like in the midst of a post-apocalyptic world, and I think it's based in the U.S. or something. I forgot which city, but it's pretty much about their travels and like what they encounter and stuff in this environment. So
nice. You enjoying that?
So far, yeah, it's
Would
good.
you recommend it?
Yes, definitely. It's very depressing though.
Oh,
Like it's very real. So if you want a realistic vision or representation of what would actually happen if, you know, after a nuclear war and everyone dies except for, 25,000 people or something, then you should get this book. It's good.
hell yeah. Is it part of your original vision?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, all right. Um, Earlier this week, I put up on the air a little contest for a chance to win a copy, a download key for Missplosion Man, and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and announce those winners really quick, and I will contact you, and I will give you that code, and you will be happy, and you will be merry, and you will be cheery. Let's see. So first one is Victor Vasquez.
Ha ha ha! Explosions, fireworks.
Second one is Robert Townsend.
Ah, yay! Congratulations.
Excellent, excellent. Lastly, no, not lastly. Thirdly, Rashad Espinoza.
Ah!
Gerald Fleming.
Yay!
Oh, come on.
What? More enthusiasm?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Oh yeah!
Oh,
Sorry.
man, that's great. How many we got so far? 3, 4? 3?
I think that's 4.
That's 3.
3?
Yeah, we got
Sounds like
Victor,
4 or 5.
Robert, we got Gerald.
And then one more.
Nah, man. Oh, yeah, 4, Rashad. Okay, last one's going to be Michael Sinteu. What happened to the... There we go. So, congratulations to you guys. Much love. I will send you those codes. And thanks for participating.
Yeah.
Moving on. Card court debate. This week's favorable card is Jiraxis. He's a warrior. Not a warrior. He's a warlock, 9/3/15, legendary, and his battle cry is that he destroys your hero, Gul'dan, and replaces him with Lord Jiraxis. And he has 15 health, so he's very ideal to play when you're low on health from all the life tapping you're doing. And he's just such a great card. You can only play him until turn 9 or turn 7 if you have a summoning portal. But he really changes the tide of the game because your hero power changes from life tap to a 2 mana power that summons a 6/6 demon, which is great. And then you get pretty much a 7 durability 3 attack weapon to use as your hero. And you still get a draw every turn, but you don't get to life tap or anything. But really changes the tide of the game. I've won every time I've had the opportunity to play him. It's a very good card. I always recommend him. It was either for me, crafting my next legendary was him or Gramash Hellscream. Because I have Ragnaros, I have Sylvanas. And I play mostly Warrior and Warlock, so I figured Jiraxis would be a good call in this time. I think next I'm going to go for Gruul, but we'll go into that another date. This week's unfavorable card is Unleash the Hounds. We just talked about this. I don't feel like there's a whole lot you can do with this card now. That isn't gimmicky. That isn't only going to work sometimes. I mean, you got these perfect niches where it's beautiful, but at the moment, I don't think the metagame and the player base has found a very clever, unique use for this. Unless this card's just straight up nerfed to not be that great anymore. But this was just intended to kill the Hunter one-turn kill thing, so I guess you could say that's been accomplished. Let's move on to some, what do we call it? Sage advice if I do it, but it's your big tip if it's yours.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to say you always want to pick weapons in Arena. When you're drafting an Arena and you're drafting with Paladin and True Civil Champion comes up, pick it. If it comes up again, pick it. If it comes up a
If
third
it comes
time,
up 17 times, pick it.
you're going to pick it at least 4 out of the 17 times it comes up, yes.
Right.
Those always help you build tempo, especially with Paladin, which is, the key for playing Paladin is just take advantage of your board presence because your hero power gives you that. Unless they're just ballsing your... Hey, I see you typing. Okay.
What?
Point being, always pick weapons. Always pick them. Always pick them.
All the weapons.
So let's discuss something here. Hearthstone is going to religiously stay casual, right? And easy to approach. Should this concern the hardcore player? What do you think?
No. I mean, there's enough depth in the game that can satisfy hardcore players and casual players, I think. I don't know. It's like doing dailies in WoW or something, Like there's daily quests. If you're a hardcore player, you're gonna do those every day and get as much gold and arena runs as you can. Maybe spend more money, like actual real life money on arena runs, maybe or card packs. But I mean, there's always the option to not do that if you're a casual player. So I mean, I think there's enough depth for the hardcore player to still enjoy the game.
I mean, yeah, there's lots of theory crafting to be done.
Yep.
I mean, this game is simple on the surface, but it gets rather complicated, and I feel like people try to make it too simple sometimes, like it's too black and white, like priest overpowered and that's it, or war. And so to that, by extension of that, like in this primarily regards like arena mode. Like I want to complicate like muddy the waters when it comes to like black and white arguments of skill versus card option, because I believe that like in order for progress to be made on the level of like design, psychology, and everything meta about Hearthstone, we need to both acknowledge and play with complicated concepts, particularly in that winning anything is more than like simply being good at it or having good resources. So I think we should all like write a love letter to the acceptance of our fate when certain things in game occur, like when your fate is sealed and there's little to nothing you can do to change it outside of the of luck and RNG and praying to the RNG gods. But it swings both ways. Like when you have card advantage, superior board presence, meta advantage, and you can very clearly see like 2 to 3 turns ahead of you, and your victory is certain. If your memory of the opponent's possible card selection serves you well, like a shaman only really has one good AoE, and the chances of them having 5 of those is nil. Or on the other hand, your turns 2 to 5 went abysmally for various reasons, particularly quite often due to no fault of your own, but simply poor draw. Oh well, you can't win them all. You resign yourself to your fate. Sure, you go through the motions and you lay your top decked card out, and it's futile attempt, whatever, and you ping your useless hero power, etc. Skilled players know when it begins to become futile based on the draft they had in Arena, the card selection. Generally, it's at this point when you procure 1 or 2 consistent losses early on in your Arena run, like your first 2 games were very poor. You start to get an idea of how your drafted deck is doing. Due to the nature of the draft, it's extremely difficult to plan and synergize your finished product in a way that will dominate. Naturally, one can never be so sure if that mana worm you picked early on will reap the synergy of other spell cards later, because other spell cards simply may not be made available to you. You might pick 3 mana worms, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is going to be great, I'm going to combo this and this and this, and you get no spells for the rest of the draft. That's happened to me. You just don't know, so it's hard to stack like that. So it's just the luck of the draw, of course. And sure, you could draft in a way that you select cards that stand well on their own, and that's just fine, if not recommended. But the fact of the matter is that we will very often get poor drafts, and we have to cope with skill. There will be players that draft superbly. There will be players that are exceptional players, and they get abysmal drafts. There will be awful players that take advantage of meta advantage, like the mage or the priest before, whose drafts make no difference sometimes, because they stomp you anyway. And so on, with the point being that there are too many variable situations to count, and no clear idea of where you'll end up in the scheme of your very own arena run until you're presented with like 3 heroes. So I just I just wanted to, put my opinion out there that it's not so black and white. There's other complicated things at hand here. Um, Sorry about my phone vibrating. I'm just so popular. People trying to get up on this.
Yeah, it's good.
You know,
All the ladies.
whatevs.
Whatevs.
Um, so
Nice big tip, bro.
thanks. You know, that wasn't a tip. That was
No, I'm talking about earlier's tip. It's bigger than my tip.
you can't let it go, can you?
I don't know, man.
I have an issue. I have an illness.
It's too big.
Um, so other games or this one doesn't matter. In general, let me ask you: does early access hurt games? Does Steam Greenlight hurt games? Does beta hurt games?
What do you mean by hurt
So
games?
let me
Like hurt?
let me give you both sides of the equation.
Okay.
On the plus side, let's say you are. All right, let me put it to you like this. Let's say you are in an early access Steam game, right? And they've stated very clearly, the developers have, that this game's not finished. We're developing it. We're still working on it. We need you to play it, give us your feedback, and we'll go from there. Let's say you and 300 other people who are very, very similar to you, almost genetically identical, and think the same way you do. And
Scary.
yeah, I know, right? Um, but it's the internet, and anything can happen.
True.
So let's say all 301 of you just have a personal preference and you don't like something about the game that everyone else that plays it loves. But because you're such a majority, and I know this is not realistic, but 300 people can have the same opinion. Because you're such the majority, your input and feedback, alters the game permanently. Like the developers, they're really listening. It could be like 2 or 3 guys making the game, and they don't have PR to vet any of that or whatever. And you control the direction of the game. You crowdfund not only the funds of the game, but you crowd develop the game. I gotta coin that word, crowd develop. There we go. So you crowd develop it for the better or for the worse. And I feel like Blizzard obviously has very good ways of vetting this. Like they don't necessarily listen to they listen to all the feedback, but they take it all with a grain of salt, right? Like loads and loads of
Right.
people complaining about a class being overpowered doesn't mean they're gonna take the class out of the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the majority of people complaining, they're actually a minority. It turns out with these kind of things, majority of people are happy with something. They don't say anything at all, which should change. I agree with Patrick Klepit in Giant Bombcast crew when he says that you should be an advocate for what you want to see more of. But on that note, with that perspective, do you think early access hurts games, or maybe it can, or do you think the benefit from gathering feedback from the community outweighs the potential risks?
I think it outweighs the risk. I think. Sorry, I'm yawning. Wow.
I know I'm
I
boring, but
think-
Jesus Christ.
that lack of sleep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it outweighs the risk because, potentially, yeah, it could alter the game in beta, but most players experiencing the beta are the only. All the players experiencing the beta are the only ones that are experiencing what's actually going to be changed anyway. The most you can do outside of the beta is read about it, and I don't know. I don't think that they can change something so drastically that people are just reading. Maybe it's small things like changing certain cards in Hearthstone, for instance. Small stuff like that. No one's going to be like, man, I'm not going to play this game anymore because Unleash the Hound's changed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's really important for, especially for games like this or MMOs, for there to be beta testing, for the consumer to experience it, and then have their input, so the company can see what the public, what the future consumer actually thinks about the game.
What if it's less? What if it's less having to do with the playtest community and more about the game? Like, what if, um, for example, let's take Star Citizen, which is a very popular, growing starship game where you crowdfund, like you throw money at, and you kind of reserve yourself a nice big ship to use. And when the game is launched, this game is racked up at least $1 million. Is racked up more than $1 million, which is absolutely stupid incredible. But that was enabled by their by this phase of I don't know if it's early access quite yet, but it's quickly getting to that point where does that like direct the game, like if something's successful like that, like a game that monetizes with microtransactions, and of course it's going to do well because it's a quarter. Everyone's going to bite that hook, and it's going to look on their side of the table. It's going to look like that's really successful, regardless of how many people have done it. So what if that directs the game to a development of a game, of a title that focuses on microtransactions, which is bad for the game and community overall, especially the lifetime of the game. I don't know. Do you think that games are sometimes just better off not having betas? I don't know, just some other AAA game like Assassin's Creed. You play Assassin's Creed, right?
I've played it. I'm not a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, honestly.
What about the new one?
I haven't played that one yet.
Oh.
But I heard it's good. I mean, they come out with them too frequently, and they're always the same.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. Like, I played the first one, and I loved it. And then the second one came out like a year later, and I didn't finish the first one. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll play this one. And then I didn't finish the second one. And the third one came out like a year and a half later, which, I mean, I should have finished all these in less than a year. But with me, personally, I have a problem with finishing games because I'm always like, oh, this game's great. And then I see another one I want to play, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to play that now. And I just always hop from game to game.
Yeah.
And it annoys me. But I think that's the reason they only have beta testing and stuff like that for certain games, like if the dudes who made Assassin's Creed had a beta test every time they released a game, it could potentially change how the game works and then, throw off previous customers who enjoyed the other games.
Yeah. I mean, that's not to say like games don't all have testers, but we're talking about like public testing.
Like, yeah, like me and you. Like if I got into the beta for Assassin's Creed, I'd be like, you need to change this whole game because it's always the same and it sucks.
Imagine how many other people would say that, and that would ultimately direct the game, maybe
Right.
to not what players deserve, but what players want.
Right, like instead of, using knives to assassinate people, he uses sponges or something.
Right, or yeah.
That would be cool.
Righteous.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good fruit for that.
Yeah.
So I guess let's wrap up. Kind of got a short show, which is okay.
We're missing our Japanese Indian friend.
Yeah, a really tan guy.
Yeah, really tan, low-ish voice.
He partied out, man. He's partied out. He partied out again.
Ah, gosh.
He partied out again.
We need to have an intervention with this kid.
Yeah.
Eh.
Well, emails and iTunes shoutouts. We love those. We love your emails. We would love to talk about your iTunes ratings. So please go on iTunes. Give us however many stars you see fit. I'm not going to ask you for 5 stars, but I'm certainly going to love you for 5 stars. And
That's right.
my love is not cheap. My love is 5 stars. Expensive.
Exactly.
And I will talk about you on the show. And I'm going to talk really good things about you. Think about the grossest, nastiest, dirtiest, loveliest soap opera romance you've ever seen in a soap opera. These are the days of our lives. And I will reminisce on your name, be it Arsemaster54. I will talk such good things about you on the show. I'll bring you up. I will talk about how we went and got that hot dog that one time, and that you spilled spilled chili on you and I got sports pepper juice in my eye, I'll talk about all the good times we had. And all that for just 5 stars. But if you don't feel like leaving 5 stars, if you just feel like leaving 1 star and telling us why, let's say because we don't have enough black people on the show. That's fine.
Right.
That's fine. I'm not going to talk about our good times we had, but that's fine. Just leave us a review of some sort. Anything, we appreciate that. It gets us out there. It helps us appear better in the iTunes listing. Helps us rank up a little bit. It gets us more listeners, which is the whole reason we're doing this. We don't want to talk to ourselves all day. Otherwise, we wouldn't be making this podcast, of course.
We're doing this for you.
Right. But I digress. And that's ultimately going to determine the direction of the show. But you can send us your emails if you don't feel like doing any of that, or if you feel like doing all of it. Send us your emails to duelistdiscussion@gmail.com. That's duelist, plural, discussion,
Earl.
at gmail.com. We're on Twitter @DiscussionShow. You can find our main site where you can listen to all of our shows and subscribe from there, see our pretty faces, etc. At duelistdiscussion.squarespace.com, and of course we're on Facebook /duelistdiscussion. Where can they find you, Ryan, for your amazing drum talents and quips?
Business inquiries.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Email me, ryanmdrover@gmail.com, or you can find me on Twitter at Ryan_M_Drover. Tweet me, email me, whatever. I'll talk back to you. I'm not shy.
A little bit you are.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. But I will talk to you.
You just gotta break the ice with Ryan. Like, get a shirt off.
Yeah.
Twist it around your head. Yeah.
Send me some pictures.
Spin it like a helicopter.
Yeah, that's weird. Don't send any of that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's been a good show, man.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, Ryan. And we'll talk to you next week. Take care.
Always. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Everything. This is all digital.